Hello guys, sorry for the camera angle here. Couldn't find a better place to mount the camera, but today I'll show you we're going to replace the intake tube. It's got a massive leak in there. I kind of put the duct tape on it so I can pass the smog while the parts come in. Anyhow, let's get started. We need to remove this box here out of the way. So you start with the seal, and this whole thing should come out. And let's see here. We'll probably better off removing this. And then this should come out like this. Very simple. We also got new cabin filters, so we'll be installing that. Then you want to remove this. Hopefully you have wide enough angle you can see. You just twist this. This car is very old. It's already falling apart. Once you twist this, it should come out. But it's already got a lot of broken pieces, as you can see. A lot of broken pieces here. I don't know if you can see, but the rubber here is all. If I touch it, it'll just crumble down. This car was mostly in Florida and Texas, so the heat just really kills those cars. They don't like the heat. And who likes the heat, man? Anyways, we're going to disconnect this guy and need to keep track of where things are going, but we're going to have to take this guy off. So there's a nut here. Let's see what size it is. So it's size 10. Once you take this off, now that's the only bolt hole in this box. I believe so. So it's ready to move now. We're going to need to take the tabs off. You can see the tabs here. Hopefully you can see. This is very sorry. You can see the tabs here. Just unplug it like that, and then this should come off like this. And then we're gonna have to lift this guy up from its place, like so. See it like that. We don't need to take the filter off; it's pointless. Set it aside. Now we have the MAF sensor is visible. Mass airflow sensor is visible, but we're going to need to unplug this guy from all the way of its throat, and that's we're gonna need to take this T junction here, or double T, whatever, or F junction, I guess. Cold. It's recommended you replace the vacuum hoses. I replaced the small one, but the big one, I just noticed it's also crumbling, so I'm gonna have to order that. Luckily it's not that long. So we're gonna need to I would leave the MAF sensor on so you know the orientation of it when you plug it in the new one. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, but just in case, because I think this is like an OEM. There's no brand on it. Ah, yeah, there's an arrow for the airflow. But anyways, you need to loosen those clamps here. So we can. For some reason, this intake is 2 pieces. It's really odd. anyways, let's see. So you twist, it should come off the thing here. We can take it away, twist, and there it is. So there's like a connector here in between that goes between the two pieces. So there's this piece here. You can see the map sensor is right here. This piece here, and then this doesn't come with the kit, I think. So you're gonna have to transfer this over. And these things are just a pain in the butt. Anyhow, so if you're getting those codes for a lean, system lean, you know, system 2 lean, bank 1, whatever, it's not your O2 sensors. You got a vacuum leak somewhere, and I replaced the vacuum hose. The one goes around, clean the valve, the exhaust valve over there for the EGR, or actually the EGR for the SAP system, secondary air pump system, and everything. I mean, it just won't go away. Then I realized there is a big cut in here. You probably can see the tape from the other end. You can see, yeah, that was a massive air leak. So the car doesn't have a lot of power because a lot of air getting in. You see, if the crack was here before the MAF sensor, that's fine, but the crack is here past the MAF sensor. So the MAF sensor measures how much air, it's mass airflow, right? It's measuring how much air is going into the intake, and based on that, it disperses the fuel. So it's seeing an amount of air here, but there is extra air coming from the crack that the engine doesn't know about. So what happens is, it could be getting less air from here. It's not giving enough fuel, or I don't know, putting more fuel or something. Yeah, it causes the engine to not run well. Alright, so I'll show you how to remove the intake so you can replace the crankcase ventilation valves. You're gonna, it's a big pain, because I would like to remove the whole thing without really messing with everything else. So I'm gonna remove the top parts first so I can access the bolts that are holding the intake manifold, and there are these screws here. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. Those are T25. So you remove them, okay? And then you slowly check this out. You don't want to break anything. Make sure you buy the gaskets for this piece. It's called air distribution O-ring. I'll show you part number. Let's see how. Hopefully one. So there's a vacuum hose right here, and you can see a plug from here. This one here. Okay. Oh boy. So there's another vacuum hose here. Okay. As you can see, there's a lot of oil in it. And that's because the PCV is probably shot. So the reason why we took this off is show you. So I'm gonna try to remove the intake from here. So now we can see I can take this off now, here, this piece, and then we can get to the bolts, these bolts, from here. I don't think there are any bolts at the bottom. Yeah, that's it there. So the idea is, remove the bolts, this will become loose. And the idea is to actually move this to the side and expose the bottom. You can see the injectors and the fuel rail is all connected to the intake. So hopefully that will, all of them will move here, and then hopefully we'll have access, better access to the PCV that's sitting underneath the crank, or the CCV, the crankcase ventilation valve that's sitting underneath, and then we can access the rest of the hoses, this, and then there is another one that goes to the dipstick from the PCV. So I assume the PCV is blocked or clogged. So yeah, not quite sure yet, but we will have to see what's gonna happen. So I'll remove the intake bolts and be back with you, see what happens. Okay, so after a lot of struggle, there is a nut on this piece here. It's a 60mm nut, so you'll be able to see it once you remove the boot. You'll be able to see it from here and take it out. Once you take it out, as you see, the whole thing comes off. Now you can see one of the lines is completely torn apart. Let me show you. Yeah, right there. Completely torn apart, and that goes to the dipstick, I believe. There's a bunch of shit here, bunch of wires. Just be careful. You're here to do one thing only, and that's you're gonna have to put a new gasket here. I bought one. Probably this is reusable, but I would just replace it. Clean this off. Don't worry about the debris falling in. They'll get burned off. No big deal. Anyhow, we're gonna have to loosen the, this is the crankcase valve, whatever. We're gonna have to loosen it so it can come off, and then we can replace the new hoses and put this thing back. No need to take the no need to take anything off, man. Screw that. Just do it the Russian style. You know, as always, I get you the shortest way possible to do something. I struggle, so you don't. Okay, so got some bad news here. There is another bolt right there. And there's another one, there's one at the top that I managed to take off, and there's one at the bottom that you have to remove the throttle body to get to it. So here's my radical idea. I'm gonna break it, and then I'm gonna put the top one back only. I'm not gonna put the bottom one back. I'm not doing that. I am not taking the throttle body off. Screw the throttle body. Don't need that. Anyhow, now you have access to this heater something. This heater pipe, coolant pipe, whatever. And you don't need to take the intake off to actually remove this hose here. I've done that without even looking, just touching, and you know, yeah. Anyways, let's try to break it and see what happens. Okay, so I gave up and took the throttle body out. No big deal, just 4 bolts, comes out, because that thing would not come off. It's just the top part is stuck on the left, so it's stuck in there. There's not enough room to slide it out, unfortunately. And even if I broke it, that means the new one is not going to go in. So now with the throttle body off, it's going to be a piece of cake. But I still win because I did not have to remove any of the other stuff. No fuel rail, no fuel injectors, no nonsense, no nothing. Man, imagine that. That would be a nightmare. You still have to remove the bracket here. There's a nut here and a bolt here. Bolt comes here, and then the nut comes there. Yeah, hopefully I'll remember how these things go back. Really not looking forward for that. Anyhow, now we're gonna put back the new CCV. You better assemble the hoses first, because once it's in there, it's impossible to get them in there connected. You know, they require a level of force. So it's going to be interesting. The top one is going to be interesting. The top one is going to be painful. But anyhow, at least my diagnosis of the oil running down here, I figured it's the CCV. It's got to be the CCV because the oil filter is just bone dry. The gasket of it is bone dry. And yeah, the power steering is leaking, but it won't leak that kind of oil on that. So the CCV, the broken pipe, was leaking down on it's supposed to go to the dipstick, but it's not going to the dipstick. It's just leaking on the engine block, and that will cause a massive vacuum leak, man. No wonder the car drives like crap. It's slow. The engine RPM hangs. You know, it's not quickly. The engine doesn't rev quickly, you know, like up and down. I mean, it goes up relatively okay, normal, but down it hangs up there. So this car is gonna drive back the way it should be once I'm done with it. All right, well, all you have to do now is put everything back, and you should be done. Just replace the gasket here. I got one, and replace the intake gasket. They're cheap. And then that's it, man. You're good to go. Bolt everything back up, connect the wires, and that's it. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatever. Alrighty, take care. Bye-bye.